Hola.
Hi, divas. Hi, you little monsters.
I wish we had like a cute little nickname we could call our listeners,
We'll get there once we get listeners.
like monsters or
Yeah. Barbs.
barbs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bees. What are Beyonce's bees? The beehive?
Yeah, the beehive.
She's an idiot.
Or Justin Bieber has his believers. Yeah.
Beliebers. That's really good. Okay. Hi, girls. Welcome back to Hot and Bothered.
I'm Cedar Champ.
I'm Chris Bruno.
And on this podcast, we talk about everything that we find hot as fuck.
And everything that bothers the shit out of us.
Slay. We have no credentials, minimal life experience. Don't take our advice on anything. What else do you have?
I'll throw in that romantic little sluts.
Exactly.
And you guys know the rest. So what's going on this week, Dolly?
I don't know about you guys, but I've been so fucking bored lately. I think you have a little bit too.
I actually haven't been bored lately. I've
Really?
been so busy and I've been trying to be social, as everybody knows, that I haven't really been bored lately. I could use some boredom.
Oh, I'm really jealous of that. I just feel like nothing exciting has been happening in my life lately, and like I need to really like go spice things up. Hence the reason I'm going out of town this weekend, because I'm like I didn't have nothing to do. I have to flee the scene. So
you're gonna go somewhere else and cause drama and stir up a storm.
And then come back and talk about it on the pod.
I love it. That's what we need.
There's nothing better for me to do. It's a full-time job.
Absolutely.
Every time we record, I look over at you and I notice how long your eyelashes are.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're so long.
Slay.
Yeah.
I love these little long girls. I've been curling them lately because they get into my eyes. So I saw someone on TikTok was like, just curl your eyelashes if they get into your eyes.
Slay.
You know what happened to me yesterday?
Tell me.
So, I mean, amidst all my other health concerns that have yet to be determined.
Wait, did you book an appointment with a neurologist?
Okay, so my disgusting health insurance is barely covered by anything. So I have to like go to 2 specific ones that are in network. But I went to my dermatologist today because I'm done with my 6-month Accutane journey.
Slay.
And she put me down to I thought I was on the lowest dose, but she put me down to 10 milligrams. I was on 20 milligrams. And she put me down to 10 milligrams. And then she got me another blood test, like the paperwork to go get it at fucking Quest, whatever that ghetto place is. And she was like, but do it in like a couple weeks when your body is acclimated to the 10 milligrams.
Yeah.
And then they're having it sent to another doctor.
Oh, good.
So
okay.
I'll just wait a couple weeks and then.
Like 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
Did you tell her you've been fainting?
Oh my God, it was so sad. Oh my God, it was so sad. Also, I ran into my best friend at the dermatologist today and Nicole Richie's husband.
Such a slay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, what is going on here today? I was like, it's a fucking party in here.
Get it on and popping at the dermatologist.
Yeah, like Joel Madden. I was like, hi, diva. Anyway, so I was talking to my dermatologist and I like was going over things, and literally as the appointment was ending, I like grabbed her. I was like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you, because we were so deep in talking about other.
You and your derm.
Yeah, like, but like skin stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I've been faint. I was like, oh my God, I told her I just fainted once because I didn't want her to know that it was twice.
Right. 3 times.
And then I
actually.
told her, I was like, you know, she basically was like, I think it's because you were dehydrated and like you're on Accutane and whatever. And I told her, I was like, I think it was like I literally had a drag of a cigarette and then I went down.
A combination
and she was like,
of like a few things probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, funny thing is, that was happening to my brother when he was young. And then a few years later, he died of a cardiovascular malfunction. What is it called?
I don't know.
Complications, some cardiovascular complications. And she was like, today's actually his birthday.
Oh my
and we
God.
like literally both started crying. I was like, oh my fucking God. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, that's so
and then,
sad.
Well, she told me that, but as she was telling me, I didn't really register
the severity of the situation.
Or like the parallels of the situation. And then we started talking and then like about my health stuff. And I was like, wait, I'm also so sorry about your brother. Like, that's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And then she was like, yeah, today's actually his birthday. And like we like both got really emotional and it was like so sad. But like she's so sweet. I love her.
Okay, wait. That is such an eventful visit to the dermatologist.
I know.
Holy shit.
She also, we'll get into it later. We don't need to get into it. But I guess I'm going to have to put a nose job on my 2024 calendar. We'll get into that later.
Are you sure we shouldn't just get into it now?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
I kind of do.
I can't. talk about it. I don't want
Oh,
people to know
you're
it.
gonna get to have a hard nose. I'm excited
I
for
know. I'm gonna have a
you.
little hard Michael Jackson nose, and I'm really
You know what
excited.
I was thinking about too? Actually, a couple things that I want to share on the topic of nose jobs. I don't know if anyone has any interest in this topic at all, and I don't really care. But a couple things I've been thinking about, and I've shared this with you before. I don't think I've shared it on here. After getting a nose job, one thing that was really fucking crazy to me is that because the skin on your nose shifts, right? Because they're like doing shit and moving things around and whatever. There's like freckles and stuff on my nose that are in different spots now than they were before.
That is
And
so
it's
insane.
so weird. So like you don't recognize even the skin on your nose after you get your nose done. And I mean, if you don't have freckles or like any marks or anything like that, you're probably fine. But I definitely do. Obviously, I'm a fucking redhead. So that was one thing. And then another thing was that my surgeon, when he like stitched me back up, he left kind of like a little divot on the inside of my nose. So I have this teeny tiny little hole right here at like the entrance of my nostril, and it fucking shoots out little black hairs, and I have to get a little tweezer, you know, that really like needle nose tweezers,
That will
like the
like that are
skinniest
like
ones.
weapons.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have to get one of those and go up in there and pull out the little black hairs. Otherwise, I just have little black hairs shooting out,
That
which I
is
don't think anyone can see
insane.
them, but they like make my nose itch. So I have to pluck them out. It's just like the dumbest,
I'm
like tiniest
so
little
I just feel
things.
like everyone that has gotten their nose done just has like they never live their life the same again.
No,
And I don't know if I'm ready to do that.
you are.
Fuck.
It's having your nose done is fun, and it's
I feel like
such a
it's
slay to have a cute
I
nose.
feel like it's like a category that you either are in or you're not, which is like literally that is what it is. But I don't know if I want to identify as that.
Someone who has had a nose job.
Yeah.
Can I also say another thing that's really annoying as a woman who has had work done on her face, which like we all know my stance on plastic surgery and those kinds of things. I got my nose done because I had broken it when I was a kid. It was crooked as shit. I just wanted it to be a little better. And so I got my nose done, but I don't have fillers. I've not gotten my tits done. In terms of any cosmetic procedures, very minimal.
You
And
just get Botox.
I get Botox, yeah. And Botox doesn't even count because it wears off.
Mm-hmm.
But I have had so many fucking men tell me, completely unprompted as well, tell me that they liked my nose better before I got it done.
You have told me that so many times. And one, they're lying. And two, that's completely inappropriate.
It's so inappropriate. It is so
And it's like
rude.
weird.
It's weird. I don't understand why you think that that would be like a good
An
thing to say to
appropriate thing to
somebody.
say to somebody who clearly like got their nose done and this is the nose that they're gonna have for the rest of their life.
Exactly. Like I've had guys tell me like, "Oh yeah,
You've had multiple men tell you
I've
that.
looked back at your old Instagram pictures and like I liked your nose before." Or like I thought your nose before was cute or cuter, or they'll always say something like that, and it's just like I didn't ask. I didn't
Yeah.
ask if you liked my nose better.
Yeah. That's kind of in the same category. Actually, it's not because that's kind of insulting.
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those weird things where guys tell me, "Oh, you're much cuter in person."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to that.
Right. Or it's like if a guy were to tell a girl, "Oh, you look so much better without makeup." It's like nice, but it's also like, okay, so you don't think I look good when I put makeup on?
Yeah. It's like a weird backhanded compliment. That's
For sure.
I mean, I kind of take looking better in person as a compliment
Yeah.
because I would rather look better in person, but it's still like,
But that's something active, but it's like I can't go back and change my nose back to what it was. So it's like,
yeah.
you know, like at least you are like still presenting that way, if that makes sense. I don't have that nose anymore.
But that's also rude to say to some. They're both rude to
They're both
say.
rude as hell.
Yeah.
Add it to my list of reasons to hate men. I don't
I'm
know.
just like, what?
Literally what? I
I
don't
think your
know.
nose is so good.
Thank you. I like her.
I do too. I didn't know that she was fake. I mean, she's very I don't see noses like that often,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it was fake cuz it looks like it goes with your face and everything.
I agree. And it's not perfect and it didn't turn out perfect in the way I wanted it
Yeah,
to, but it still suits my face. So
for
I'm like,
sure.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She slays.
Ugh, maybe I'll get my nose done.
I would absolutely love to drive you to and from your appointment after getting your surgery. That would be so fun.
Well, I'm probably gonna have to go to like Turkey or Tijuana or Colombia or something. So I might just wait till I'm like 32 and like my hairline is 2 centimeters more receded, and then I'll just
Just
go
go
do
get it all done
everything.
in one.
Just
Yeah.
do absolutely
That
everything.
would be so fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go together. We'll do a little plastic surgery
I
vacation.
know. A little teeth, little nose, little hair transplant, bada boom, bada
Mm-hmm.
bang, come back, chin implant,
Brand new man.
jaw implant. That's it.
Slay. Did
Ugh.
you have anything else you wanted to cover before we get into
I
it?
wanted to talk about also my talent of being able to identify the most random lookalikes of people in the world. Like
Oh,
that
that's
is
fun.
one of my biggest talents is now I'm not going to be able to think of an example off the top of my head, but like I feel like people identify me as somebody who can like if you show me someone I'll be like, "Oh, that looks like X, Y, and Z."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Holy fuck."
Like they've never thought of it
Yeah,
before.
and it's like the most distinct thing that will and I feel like this is something that's constantly like it's inherent. Every time I meet someone I'm like, "Okay, this person looks like this person or like this
Yeah.
person acts like this person." I'm like, "What is that called?"
I don't know, but I have that too. But it's usually for some reason I relate a lot of people back to cartoon characters really often, or like some sort of like not human animated situation.
Yeah.
Like I said to one of my coworkers a couple weeks ago, referring to one of my managers, I was like, the way he moves, he is a sim character, literally
Yes.
down to a T. And they were like, "Oh my god, you're so fucking right." So it's always like some sort of
Like when you
weird
said I
like
look like the Men in Black fucking ant when I was wearing my sweatpants. That kind of thing. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know, but that's always really fun because of people's reactions to it, they're always like they see it and then they're
Mhm.
so mind blown because they've just never thought of it.
But it's like a completely appropriate parallel.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's like my favorite thing to do.
Like your human or non-human doppelganger, your cartoon
Yes.
doppelganger. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. A doppelganger.
Yeah.
That's my hidden talent.
I'm
I
obsessed with
should put that
that.
on my Hinge profile.
You know what I got really bothered by? A lot of people love to compare me to celebrities, and they're always people I look nothing alike. I
Mhm.
think honest and like not to toot my own horn, but honest to God, the only one I've ever gotten where I'm like, okay, I actually see that is Michelle Pfeiffer.
Mhm.
But like I get all of these crazy random celebrity comparisons, and half the time it's somebody I've never even heard of.
Or it's like a redhead and
And
you're
it,
like,
or it's
"Okay,
just because people telling me all the time I look like Lindsay Lohan. I'm like, I look actually
you
nothing
don't
like
look like
her.
Lindsay
I just have
Lohan."
red hair.
Also, Lindsay Lohan looks really fucking good now.
She really
Like hats
does.
off to Lindsay
I need
Lohan.
to go watch that new movie or whatever she just came out with. I
Which
haven't.
one?
I've just been
Hasn't she been doing like a
seeing.
bunch of like Lifetime Christmas movies?
She did that one Christmas movie last year, but then there's a new one that just came out, and I don't know what genre or category it is at all. But I just saw her face show up on my Netflix. But I'm
She's
gonna
like
watch
so
it.
anorexic, chain smoking in Mykonos, like has no idea. She's like, sure, I'll act again.
I need to be her,
You are her.
essentially.
I'm not even gonna talk about who people tell me that I look like because it's actually fucking insulting.
I need to know.
No, it's
You
so
can't say that and then
insulting.
not tell us.
Obviously, I'm gonna tell you. When I was younger and fat, everyone would tell me that I look like Sam Smith. And sometimes I still get it, and I'm like,
I actually, one of my coworkers at the restaurant, he gets Sam Smith all the time too, and he gets so
when
upset.
I worked at a restaurant in college, everybody, and this was when Sam Smith was like the hottest fucking person on Kiss FM. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like everyone was obsessed with him. I used to get that all the time. I'd have drunk bitches be like, sing me whatever the fuck his songs are. And I was like, no, fuck you.
The way I
Like,
would actually hang
I
myself,
was like, it was at least twice a day I would get it.
I
At
would no
least
longer be
twice a day.
living.
I've also gotten, what's the boyfriend's name in The Devil Wears Prada that's like Indian? Someone,
Oh,
I've had two people tell me that I look like him. I'm
that's
like,
very
I'm
random.
like, no.
No,
No.
I don't see that for you.
No, I've literally had like two or three people tell me that. I'm like, I don't think so.
That is so
So
weird.
random, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that I look like him at all.
Mm-mm. I don't like that.
Are you hot or are you bothered?
I'm hot this week because okay, this is, and I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. My sister joined a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I always like kind of had the attitude of, well, I don't have that kind of drama in my life, so this doesn't really pertain to me.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I know. And then it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago I was talking to one of my coworkers, and she was like going off about the Facebook group, Are We Dating the Same Guy? And she was like, the drama in there is pure entertainment.
the amount of girls that I know that are members of that Facebook and just peep it for pure entertainment is insane.
And I've never even considered joining for the entertainment aspect, which is on me, because like, why wouldn't I? Because like, it
Yeah.
is, everybody knows that like drama on Facebook is the most incredible form of entertainment you can ever possibly come across.
Yeah.
And so I never considered joining just because I didn't think I needed it for like real use.
You're like, I have so many different forms of entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I meant like I never thought I needed it in terms of looking to like catch a guy like doing
Yeah.
shady shit on there.
Yeah.
And so I never joined it. And then my coworker suggested the other day that I join just for funsies. And I did, and it was funsies. It's been fun. Like, it's kind of sad because there are some girls on there that are like posting like looking for advice because they're like, what do I do? This guy is doing XYZ and he's like flat out just treating her absolutely horribly, and she's like
Cheating on
so
her.
in love with him, and she
That's
just like
so
needs someone
sad.
to tell her like what to do to make him stop cheating.
Didn't we talk about this a couple episodes ago when it's just like embarrassing to yeah,
Yes.
just embarrassing.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. But thankfully for these girls, I'm glad that they have like a space where they feel safe coming
Yeah,
to other
for
women
sure.
and being like, what do I do? But it's still so sad. Anyway, so there's that. But then there's also just women on there that are just menaces because men have made them that way. And so they're there just to like drag men. It's so incredible. So anyway, that's fun. And because I'm in the group now, I'm like curious. And so I searched for a few people that I've dated in the past just to see if like
Do
anyone's
they
posted
fully
about
show
them.
names?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking nuts.
It's usually a first name and then last initial. And then,
like a location or something.
yeah, it's all like LA
Oh.
because there's different groups for different cities. And so if I'm looking for a guy, I'll just type in his first name and then scroll through all of the guys with that name. And then they'll have usually like their first name, their last initial, and then their age. And then they'll put a picture of him in. And it's so good. It's so good. But so then I started getting a little curious and I'm like, I wonder if I can see any of the guys I've dated before on here because I'm so fucking single right now. I'm not even entertaining anybody. So I'm just looking for exes and stuff just for fun. Not even
like backtracking because you have no one on your roster and
yeah,
you need
exactly.
the drama.
Exactly. I'm like, what have these fuckers been up to?
Yeah.
And is anyone posting about them?
And
Like,
what did I miss
did they terrorize
during
anyone
my
else?
short stint? Like, what was I missing? Like, let's see if these timelines align.
Exactly. So I started like digging around, didn't find anybody from my past, which I'm like, okay, that's kind of boring, but like whatever.
Depressing.
And then this guy messaged me on Hinge. We were chatting a little bit and he was a little too young for me. He was 27. So I was like, probably not going to go out with him. But then he like kind of straight out the gate asked me like, can I take you out on a date? And I was like, do I want to do this? Kind of leaning towards no because he's so young and wasn't really the vibe. But while I was deciding if I was going to message him back or not, I was going back through his pictures and I was like, I recognize this man's face. And I'm like, I almost 1,000% can guarantee where I've seen this fucking man before. So I go search him in the Facebook group and I only saw one post. And it was just a girl saying she matched with him and she was like, does anyone have any tea on him?
This is so good. I would do this every day.
So
the
good.
things that people would say about me.
Well, especially because the best part is that I don't even have to give a fuck about these guys or even know them or ever go on a date with them. I could take every Hinge match of mine and just
plug it into this fucking Excel sheet of men.
It's so good.
And get tea.
It's so good.
So what happened with him?
Okay, so this girl posted looking for tea and there were no comments on it. No one had responded. No one had said anything. And I didn't find any other post with him in it. And so I'm like,
do I message her?
What's going on here? So I just commented on it. I was like, did anyone have anything here? Like, I just matched with him. And
God, I'm like at the edge of my seat.
Wait, should I pull up receipts?
You're going to get kicked out of the group.
I'm probably already fucked anyway. So then I forgot that I even commented that because I don't check my Facebook and I don't have notifications on.
Yeah, same.
And a couple days go by, I finally go back on my Facebook and I see these notifications and I'm like, oh my God.
It's blown up.
Slay. This girl comments back because I said anything here just recently had been messaging with him on Hinge. This girl comments back. She's like, yeah, I found another thread with him on here. Same experience from a bunch of others. He ghosted me twice because we reconnected last year and he apologized and then immediately did it again. Then she links the previous post in which all these other girls were talking about him. And if you click on the link, it is so many comments of girls saying he was sleeping with other people, not using protection, lying about how many people he was sleeping with. He ghosted me. He is verbally abusive, pushy about making sex tapes, like novels about
Oh
this man.
my God.
Novels. These girls are like literally so bent out of shape because this man is just a fucking terrorist. And it's just all these girls having the same experience with him. Like, yeah, he ghosted me. He lied to me about sleeping with other people. Like, so vile and horrible.
That's
This
insane.
one girl said like he was trying to smother her during sex. Like, really crazy shit.
They get very, I mean, this is a very safe space for girls.
One partner was worried about pregnancy after he came inside of her, and then he blocked her. Pretended she had the wrong number, and then finally broke down that he'd want nothing to do with her or any resulting pregnancy.
God, this guy sounds like he has like a lot of how can you be fucking this many bitches and like fucking that many people's lives up?
Crazy.
How do you have that much energy to be like fucking people up like that?
It's so crazy.
That's insane.
You have too much time on your hands.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And also disgusting. And I
So-
also need to create a gay version of that. Do you think that exists? But then you would be in it.
Yeah, you can't really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't really work.
I'm creating that.
We'll figure out how to make it work. It's so good. No, but
Have you found anyone else on there? And I'm assuming you're not talking to this person anymore.
no, I never responded to him after he asked me on a date. But I've been trying to decide. I haven't found anyone else on there, but I haven't really looked lately. That might be my homework tonight. I might go through all my Hinge matches and like see what's going
Just
on.
like the ones that you would consider. I think it's a good point of reference.
Well, okay, so then this is also something I've been debating because I am inherently so deeply attracted to the worst type of people.
Yeah.
And so my
i.e. me.
concern is like, yeah, exactly. So my concern is that if I were to like go out on a date with a guy and not look him up on this thing before, because I do kind of like just for the experience to go into something blind and then, you know, feel it out.
Yeah.
And like 98% of the dates I go on, I know aren't going to result in a second date anyway. So I'm like chilling with just like going for the date. So I've been debating. I don't know if it would like cause some sort of psychological mind game or like warfare for me if I were to go out on a first date with a guy and think that the date was just okay and still kind of on the fence of if I'm going to see him again or not, which happens most of the time, to be completely honest. And then if I were to search him in this group and find him and see not horrible stuff, obviously, like, but kind of bad stuff about him, if that would make me want to go on a date with him even more.
I mean, I feel like it depends on the content that they're exposing.
It for sure depends on the content, but I'm a little concerned that because of my attraction to horrible people, if that would
hinder it or make it amplified.
Yeah. So I haven't really decided yet how I'm going to utilize this group, which also I might not even be able to after we post this episode, because if you talk about it publicly or post screenshots or anything from this group, you are banned from it. So I might not even be able to access it after this. But
you just kind of self-sabotaged for your own sanity.
Yeah.
In a way.
I could always create a fake Facebook profile and join from there.
Yeah. Or you could just use mine because I'm a female.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Anyway, so I'm hot this week because that group is so incredible. And if you're a woman and if you're not using it for like real reasons at this point, you should join just for fun because you never know when it's going to come in handy. And also the drama is kind of a slay. It's fun. It's giving.
It's giving drama.
It's giving drama. It's giving excitement.
Top tier.
It's giving podcast content.
It's giving novels.
It's giving.
Yeah.
It's giving.
I want to be a part of that group.
I wish that you could join it just so you could observe with me.
Well, we have 1 week to get as much information out of that as we can.
Exactly.
So let's see what happens.
Exactly. Maybe I should start searching all my friends, like boyfriends and stuff in there too. That would be really good.
You have too much time.
I might join other cities as well just for fun. Because I've also seen other girls do that, especially when they're dating a guy, and if he travels somewhere else, they'll join the other city to see if he's fucking around.
Oh my God.
Yes,
that's insane.
It's so good. It's so good. Anyway.
I need you to like date someone solely for the purpose of just keeping tabs of him through this page.
That would be fun.
That would be like a social experiment.
Should we make a documentary about that?
No.
Did you see that thing that happened on social media a few years ago? It was like West Elm something, West Elm Jake or West Elm something, and he was that guy who was dating all these women, lying to all these women, and like all these. I
The
think
Tinder
that
swindler?
no, it was a different guy, but it was a similar context. I don't think he was scamming people. I think he was just like cheating on people.
Okay.
But I think that that's how he got caught was through that group.
That's crazy. What are you looking up over there?
I'm trying to figure out if I can find the name of this.
West Elm Jake.
Oh, it was Caleb, West Elm Caleb.
Does he work at West Elm?
He worked at West Elm.
He's gay. So jokes on these girls.
His name's Caleb and he works at West Elm. He's gay.
1000%. That's the gayest name and job I've ever seen in my life.
He was a designer.
Gay. What does a designer mean at West Elm? Like you're selling candles? Or like what does that mean?
I think it means, does it not mean you're designing like furniture and shit for West Elm?
I don't know. He's gay.
Shouldn't you know this?
People like to fabricate, as we all know.
So anyway, basically all these girls band together and realized they were all dating the same guy and that he was a fucker. And that's how cheaters get caught. And I'm hot this week because of that. So
Slay.
your turn. Are you hot or are you bothered this week?
I'm hot this week.
Elaborate.
Because I've come to the conclusion we're both hot this week. I was waiting for you to say that, but I guess I'll go ahead and say that.
Okay, sorry.
I'm hot this week because I've come to the conclusion that I'm gonna try something new.
Okay.
Based off of what we talked about a couple weeks ago, how we're like ready to kind of dabble in maybe having a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm ready for a situationship.
I'm obsessed with that.
I've never been in a situationship.
Really?
Well, I've never been in a situationship with someone that I liked. I've been in situationships with people that I don't like.
Yeah.
Because I could name 5 situationships.
I've seen girls talking about this on the internet lately. The concept of a situationship is only a situationship because there's one person that doesn't care. So you've been the person that doesn't care
Really?
when the other person cares more. So if you want to be in a situationship
If
at
you
this
want to
point in
be
time,
present in a situationship, you have to not be liked back.
essentially, yeah.
You have to be the one that likes them more.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to be the one that's liking someone more than they're liking me.
Yeah, because clearly you've been on the other end of a situationship before.
Yes.
For it to be a situationship, then
But I think that a
to...
situationship can be two people that actually really do. Like, I want to be in like a toxic relationship that I don't call him my boyfriend. Like, that sounds fun.
I really want that as well.
Like, I don't want to have the commitment. I don't want to have to worry about them. I don't want to have to talk to them or text them. But I need them to be at my beck and call.
Yeah, and
is that is that how you say it? Beck and call?
Yeah, I think
or becking call?
No, I think it's beck and call.
Same.
Slay. I feel the same way, and I need him to be in my bed every night of the week, except for nights I don't want him there, and then he can't be there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And like, I want him to text me back whenever I text him, but
I don't want him to like text me first, but I also need him to text me first.
Right, but also like I'm allowed to not text him back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like we need like a sex slave.
Literally. But I don't want him to be too desperate and too needy either.
Yeah, and I also want him to be like normal and cool.
No, exactly.
How
and
do we
like
find
have
these
his own
people?
life but be obsessed with mine.
Yes. And I need to be obsessed with his life but also like know nothing about it.
Absolutely.
And like be really like inclined but not care.
I've had at least 2 situationships in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe 3, except for in one of them I didn't care, and in the other 2 I kind of cared more.
Mm-hmm.
And like I see all these girls on the internet posting like, I can't do another situationship. If I have to go through another situationship to meet the love of my life, just kill me now. And like I honestly, when I see those, I'm like,
You're like, babe, throw me one. Like,
I'm kind of having fun.
Yeah,
I'll take 5 more,
pass
please.
one over. Like, why not? These are taking a minimal amount of effort.
Absolutely.
Like, we could all use a few more.
I'm like, I enjoy having somebody sleep in my bed. I enjoy having somebody to have sex with every once in a while.
To like look at.
Somebody to text here and there, but
Yeah.
not too much. Somebody to like learn new things about that I don't need to remember in 6 months.
That you don't care about.
Exactly. I am obsessed and having so much fun with situationships. I'll do 5 more.
I need to be in a situationship where I'm obsessed with the person.
Yeah.
If that's the equation.
Yeah.
Then I'm kind of obsessed with someone right now, but I don't think it's going to work out.
You every week.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out because he lives in a different country, but we'll see.
Wait, I saw this guy on social media today talking, and he was like, well, I only date girls that live in different area codes. And I was like, I've never heard somebody else say that, but that's me. That's
That's
me.
very you.
I need to, maybe that's what I need to work on next is maybe just finding somebody long distance to date again because I
You
kind of miss that
two
thrill.
days ago, you're like, I can never date someone that's in a long distance, whatever, not in my same
That was
area.
my New Year's resolution was to not date long
Okay, it's
distance
been 3
again.
months. We're over at two and
I'm
a half.
bored.
Yeah.
I'm so
I mean,
bored.
that could be fun. It's just, I feel like the game that gay men play, because I've kind of been dating a little more than usual the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the ghosting game is just, it's a fucking pissing contest
Yeah.
with the gays. Like,
Yeah.
it is a pissing
Like
contest.
who can ghost first?
Like, who can ghost first? Who can ghost longer? Who can ghost harder? It's fucking annoying. And
That
I'm like
sounds like
at
it
the
should be a
point,
Competras song.
and I'm like at the point where I'm like, I want to fuck around with someone and have a little toxic situation.
Yeah. How long are you wanting this to last for?
Maybe like 2 months,
I think that's so appropriate.
right? A 2 month situationship
Yeah.
would be absolutely ideal.
Do you want to have to be the one to end it or do you want them to end it?
In an ideal world, I would just ghost them and they would continue to text me. That's usually how one of them ends, how it ends
Hmm. Yeah.
regardless with gays. It's just a game of ghosting.
Yeah.
It's simple. You know how you're like, oh, I love to like dating as a sport. Like
Hmm.
dating is my favorite sport. And I'm like, I'm not like that. I don't want to go sit at a dinner table and talk to somebody and have to like look at them in the eye for 90 minutes and have a conversation. As good as I am at it, I do not really want to do that. I even remember when I was like dating my ex-boyfriend with my ex-boyfriend, whatever, for 5 years. I just feel like that's again my social anxiety. Like going to dinner with someone is kind of awkward for me.
Okay, yes. I have a thing with this, me and my dating rules. Going to dinner with somebody isn't awkward if you start out going to dinner. But if you start out in a casual dynamic and then try and transition it to something a little more serious like a dinner, that's when it's awkward as
Yes,
fuck.
I completely agree.
So that's why I like traditional dating for that reason because I've had it where I've met a guy and
And
we've hung out
you can't leave
and we've been
if you go out in public together, it's like you melt in the sun.
it's so uncomfortable and
Yeah.
you're so self-conscious about how you're interacting with the barista and then how
Yeah.
they're interacting with the
Yeah. And
barista
then you
and
can
like
also like get the ick if they're like weird in public.
yes, and then you're kind of
Yeah.
giving yourself the ick because you're like why am I being weird in public?
Yeah.
Like
No, I totally get that. I totally respect that because typically I end up just like having wine with someone at my house
yeah,
and like hanging out and chilling.
cuz I was debating on if I was going to talk about this or not. My most recent situationship, my big dick boy, which I haven't told everybody yet, but I did end things with him. It was like that where like the first time we went out was a little dinner, but it
Mhm.
wasn't like a formal dinner. It was like we went to Kazunori, so we were like sitting around at a bar where they
Mhm.
just slap sushi on your plate. And then we hooked up. And then after that it was never really another normal like setting
Mhm.
out. And then once we tried to do that again, then I was just paralyzed.
It's kind of the same thing as like my theory. It's a parallel. It's a parallel and like if I'm start out being sexually attracted to somebody but then I don't hook up with them and then it goes away, I can't get it back kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
It's similar.
Yes. So you have to like strategically set yourself up for success. So for me, I have to go out to dinner for the first one or two dates. So
Mhm.
that way I don't feel so fucking uncomfortable and awkward anytime we're out in public together ever again after that.
That totally makes sense. And that's probably a bit of my where my issue is.
Yeah. You just need to force yourself to start enjoying dinner dates.
But I think what's fun is like, okay, if you have a guy over and you just do something like chill at home, whatever. I'm not implying that you're fucking.
Mhm.
And then what's really fun is if you are out with friends and they're out with friends and then you guys like meet up. I
Mhm.
like that kind of situation because it's like I don't have to give this person all of my attention. They see that I'm like have hot friends. I can analyze their friends. I can show them that I'm like good at interacting with other people. I
Mhm.
can like win their friends over in 2 seconds.
Mhm.
They're gonna fall in love with me even further. They're gonna see my friends are hot. They're gonna fall in love with my friends too. and then I'll never speak to them again. And that's it.
I'm obsessed with
Yeah,
that.
I like that. I've done that a couple times and then I was ghosted, so it
Yeah.
didn't really work to my benefit.
That's fun
But
though.
gay people and dating. I went on a date with this guy and it was like textbook date. It was like kind of boring. We went to dinner at fucking Great White on Melrose. It was just weird. It was like a job interview. It wasn't the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But his roommate is like, they're like best friends or gay, both gay. His
Mm-hmm.
roommate, me and him have followed each other on Instagram for like years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been in my DMs a lot lately. And we were messaging today. He like responded to my story and we were going
The
back and forth
roommate.
about, yeah, we were going back, the roommate. Yeah, we were going back and forth about when we're going to hang out. And then I was like, I'm just going to fucking lay it on him. And I was like, so is it weird that I went to dinner with your roommate? Can we talk about that? And he was like, haha, no, I don't care. He doesn't care. And then he was like, what was the vibe? And I was like,
Don't fish for tea when you
don't
already
fish for tea
know.
when you have the tea. When I drove away and I saw him on fucking FaceTime, probably with you, walking
Yeah.
down the street with the
Filling
fucking
you in.
to-go box of food,
They were
which was
probably talking about you before the date, and they were both like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna go out on a date with Chris Bruno tonight," and like share, like showing each other
no,
Instagram
no, no. He
posts, and
he said
like,
that. He said that. He was like, yeah, he showed me you, and I was like, oh my god, I know that fool or something ghetto. And I was like, okay. And then the roommate messaged me, and he was like, so where are you taking me? And I'm like, that put such a bad taste in my mouth. Obviously, I paid for the dinner for the other guy because he didn't have a job, for his roommate because he doesn't have
yeah,
a fucking job, and people don't have any manners
mm-hmm,
in the gay world.
yeah,
And I was like, does this guy just think that I'm gonna go out with him and he's gonna like get a
like
free?
you're the communal sugar daddy.
Yeah, I was like, I beg your pardon. I was like, I literally said, I beg your pardon. Where are you taking me?
That's
Like,
exactly what I would have
I
said.
was like, people are so, and I got the ick from from his, from the
The
original date,
first date.
the first date, because he like took the food to go. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a red flag for me. That is
Mm-hmm.
something that, and that's a red flag for me. And I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so he's cheap and he wants to take this food to go.
Was it a lot of food?
No, which is even worse.
That makes it really bad.
Which is even worse.
I would only ever take food to go on a first or on a date if they told me to, if they insisted, and
And it
if it
was a
was a
lot
lot
of
of
food.
food. Yes.
Yeah, like you, yeah. So that just was weird and put like a weird taste in my mouth. And I'm like, I actually don't want to hang out with you. Is that weird of me?
Wait, what did the
Well, I never am gonna see the
to
first
go
one.
thing or
The to
the
go guy, I'm
to
never
go
gonna see him
guy?
again.
Slice of pizza to go.
It literally was a piece of pizza this big. I was like, bro, fuck that.
But you're also now icked out about the roommate because
Yeah,
he
I was
was
like, what did
like,
he tell you? Like, I don't know.
yeah,
It just made me feel like kind of like not self-conscious, but it made I was like, okay, they obviously like talked about, which is completely normal.
right. But it's about in what context they talked about
Yeah, and I
you.
was like, why does this guy think that I'm gonna like take him out? Like, I'm like, you're the one that's messaging me
Right. I think that you should still go out with him
and make him pay.
and make him pay, but also just do it for the plot. Go out with roommates. Like, that's fun. Just do it.
But then I was,
We're
yeah,
going to be 30 soon. Just do it.
fuck off. We'll see what happens, but I'm bored, so I probably will. But I also don't want to spend another $200 on a date.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like, I'm not an ATM by
Well,
any
then
means.
just tell him you'll take him out if you guys can split.
That's even, I don't know, that's weird.
No, it's funny and you can do that because it's so unserious. You're obviously not going to date this guy seriously. So
What
fuck
if
with
we fall in
him and
love?
have fun. You're not going to.
We'll see what happens, but it just put a weird taste in my mouth. I just feel
Yeah,
like, because I have this theory that, like, I just feel like everyone in LA is cheap.
cheap.
It,
And everyone pretends they're rich and no one actually is.
yeah, like, I think, like, one guy has bought me dinner on a date.
That is actually legitimately
But I will, like, feel obligated to go on another date and, like, get dinner the next time because I'm weird like that.
because you don't like to owe people things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like something you should work through. Okay, Slay.
Okay.
I love that that episode was just us blabbing and then sharing dating theories, and that's really fun.
That's why we're here. Okay, divas, we'll go on to Facebook. Where my
www.facebook.com/are we dating the same guy LA.
/ spit in my mouth, man.
I am so surprised I didn't see him in there.
I know that's the first fucking loser that you searched.
It wasn't. It was because I was actively dating another guy at the time.
Mm.
Spit in my mouth when I was probably the third, maybe fourth.
Slay.
But I'm very surprised he wasn't in there.
Yeah. Those girls probably don't know how to spell his name, right?
Probably.
That's probably it. Okay, divas, let's give you some homework.
Yeah, okay. Join your local Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group. If not to catch guys in lies, then just for the drama.
Go find a situationship if you're not in a healthy relationship.
Absolutely. Go have dinner with a guy and then date his roommate the next day.
Stop.
Which is actually something
Oh, you're doing that too.
I actually might be doing that too.
Wait, okay, let's circle back. We have homework.
I don't think we can share that story this episode, but
No, we'll get
maybe
into
next
it.
week.
Yeah.
I might do a little roommate swap situation.
Oh my God, me too.
I'll keep the girls posted.
Should we go on a double date?
Yes.
I've never been on a double date.
Anyway, yeah, so date a guy and then date his roommate, join the Facebook group, and what else are they doing?
Go find Kate Middleton.
And then also follow us on social media, like, comment, rate, subscribe, do whatever the people are supposed to do. Hot and Bothered, the pod, and that's all, girls.
That's a fucking wrap.
Slay.
Love you.